Hey, welcome back to the Bentley Homestead. I am Catherine Bentley, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, if you've been here before, hello again. If you get a chance, like and subscribe. And yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but it has been probably the most grueling couple of weeks of my life. And yeah, I'm gonna get into it with you guys. But I was just getting ready for bed tonight. I literally just took all my makeup off and was getting ready to go relax with my husband. He's watching the football game, and the spirit kept saying, go do this, and I'm like, no, I can do this later. And the spirit's like, go do this. And I literally have been arguing for an hour with the spirit, and the spirit finally said, when are you going to do this? If you're going to do this later, when are you going to do it? Because you have 6 kids and you don't have any time hardly right now, so I need you to do this now while everyone's in bed and while you're thinking of it. So I'm like, okay, sure, I need to listen and do better about that. So here it is. So I didn't even know what I was going to have to say, and now the spirit's saying, this is what I want you to say. So I'm going to share that with you. I'm also getting over a lovely cough, and it will not go away. So please forgive my voice. I have a cough drop. Hopefully it helps, because this stuff that's going around is not fun. And so I just can't get rid of like the dry throat. It's not fun. And everything else is fine. Like I don't even feel sick. I just have this dryness that makes me want to cough. So, yeah, the last few weeks have been very interesting. My previous video to this one, this is basically a continuance of that video of how we found our long lost son. This is basically what's happened since then, and how much longer the process took than I thought it would. And it's taken us a while, and I thought things would happen quickly, and they didn't. And this is also just, I don't have patience. And the Lord's been teaching me that big time. And I don't like learning that lesson. Can I just be honest? Like, this sucks. And when you tell me that there's something I need to do, like there's a kid you need to find, okay, I found him, or you help me find him. Okay, let's get him into the house. Okay, why isn't this working? Okay, we're stuck. Okay, wait, no, okay, we got another month. Oh, okay, great, we can wait another month. This is hard, but we'll wait another month. Wait, no one's on board with the next month. Wait, now we gotta go another month. Wait, now we're on month 3 or 4. Like, what? So what's happened is we started the respite. That's, I think, where I left off with you guys last time. And then he's meshed really, really well with the family. And so my foster son was, we were under the impression, based on the team, we had all agreed that current foster placement did not want to adopt him, did not want to do that at all. And so we were given the opportunity to be foster, adoption staffing, which means that we are picked for adoption. So then he needs to come move into our home. So we were given the understanding that we needed to get leveled up in our trainings so we could be level B foster kids. And then we were also recommended to get TFC training, which is therapeutic family care. So these are 2 way higher level trainings. They're 2 separate trainings. And so we've spent like 7 weeks on the TFC training, and level B was like 3 or 4 weeks, I think. So we've spent all of October and November doing that. And so we thought that would be, okay, great, you're gonna get him now. I thought we'd get him after the level B. Technically, we should have gotten him after level B, which would have been mid-October. And so as we're coming forward in this, I'm thinking, okay, we've done everything you said. It's time. You've said we're good now. And by the way, all this time he's been working with his therapist. He knows he's coming with us. He knows we want to adopt him. There's been all of this. Meanwhile, we're doing weekend visits every weekend. And I am not pleasantly being patient. I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed. I'm trying to, okay, fine, Lord, whatever. Like, I guess we'll wait. So as we were getting him on the weekends, there was some concerns that have been brought up over this time period about some things. And it all kind of came to a point. We decided that it would be best if I started to attend his doctor's visits, because it's really important that he has 5 different doctors. Okay, so he's got like a behavioral doctor, he's got a colorectal doctor, he's got a gastroenterologist, plus the nutritionist in the same thing. Then he's got your primary care doctor, and there's another one I'm forgetting. Sorry, I've got them all listed out. I literally have a map to each one of these doctors in Children's Mercy. I'm not kidding you. And they're all different colors. The team on that department is a certain color, blue, orange, red, pink, something. And then not only that, but then when you go to the actual doctor's office, you need a map just to go through the whole hospital, and they're on different levels and different wings of the hospital, and those are different colors. So I have color codes all over my binder right now for all the different doctors. Plus, his medical supplies is 2 different places. His medications are also like, oh my gosh, it's a lot. So I've been learning the ropes a little bit. So I started to go to a couple of the doctor visits, and it was made very apparent at the first doctor's visit that there were a lot of things that were said to the doctor from the current foster mom that are being done in the home for his nutrition and his health. And they are completely almost opposite of what I'm being told to do on the weekends. And it was a big red flag to me. So I'm taking notes, because whatever you tell the doctor you're doing is what needs to be done. So I'm going to do what you told the doctor you did. Does that make sense? So I'm taking copious notes during these meetings. He's very underweight, malnourished, and there's a lot of issues with that. So we need to deal with that. And there was big concerns about that. In fact, to the point to where he was put on some kind of like life support stuff that he was supposed to be taking. It's called real whole foods. And it's basically like liquid food, and it's meals. It's liquid meals. And then you feed it through someone's G-tube, which he has a G-tube. And so this, we were literally ordered by the doctor. You need to get his weight up. You need to do all these things. And by the way, you need to do these real whole foods and they're very expensive, and insurance is not. They're $25 a bag. You do 1 bag a day, and they're not covered by insurance. So they're very expensive. So this was all supposed to be implemented at these doctor's visits. I did not approve of how that meeting went and was received by the current foster mother. I did not approve of what was being said and what I was being told, how they were 2 different things. I did not approve of some of the things that are allowed in this home for this child to watch on the TV that are absolutely not okay for a kid who has autism, PTSD, behavioral issues, has nightmares, is seeing a therapist. Like, there is nothing that this kid should be watching these type of movies and things like that. Like, there's just nothing that I approved of, to be honest. And so I kind of carried that information with me, and I was like, well, what do I do with this information? I still have to deal with this person, and technically I'm supposed to be getting him in a week or 2. Do I just hold off? He's going to be coming and living with me anyway, so don't make a big deal about it. Or do I make a big deal about this now and then create an enemy, okay, with this person that I have to go deal with every weekend? I pick up my foster son. So he was weighing on me, and I called my husband, because that's what I do. What do you want me to do with this information? I'm stressing about it. Honey, help me. So I called him about it, and he's like, I really feel like you need to call our licensing worker and talk to her about it, because I don't know why, but I feel like you need to call her. And I didn't think much of that. So I called her, told her everything I'm leaving out, because I literally, there's a lot. And so anyways, I called her, told her what I was talking about, and it was made very clear that I needed to write this. I needed to report this. So when I report something, I'm not reporting it necessarily to like Child Protective Services, but I am reporting it to a caseworker, the current foster kids caseworker. So I wrote my email. Oh, sorry, I need to back up. I did write the email, but there's a big thing that happened before then. Where am I? Okay, so I'm going to do this off the cuff because I wasn't prepared. I apologize. I didn't grab my scriptures. But I got off the phone with her, and she was so adamant that I needed to do this, and I was so scared. I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to piss this lady off, because what's going to happen is we had a meeting, a team meeting, and so all of that's going to get brought up at the team meeting, and it's obviously going to come back to me. She's the one telling us all this stuff. And so I'm going to make enemies with this person, and she is going to be my way of getting this kid, and also all of the things I need for this kid. Is she going to hold that against me and not give me all of his supplies because she's mad at me now? Like, I didn't know how she was going to handle this, and I don't know if I was going to get like totally gypped. Like, she is my resource of information. I don't know all of the things. She knows all the doctors. She knows everything. So I was concerned about all of this, like ruining this relationship, if you will. And so I got off the phone with the licensing worker after she was like adamant, you need to write this email. We need you to report this to the caseworker. They need to know what's going on. And they said, do not wait to do this. Otherwise it'll look bad. Like you're using this as a retaliation against her for you not getting him yet or whatever. I'm trying to be vague, so I apologize if some of this doesn't make sense. So I get off the phone and I'm really mad because I'm like, I'm chickening out. I can't do this. So I call Ryan back and I'm like, honey, now look what you did. You made me call her and now look where I'm at. Now I gotta write this email and now we are gonna go to war. We're gonna go to war. I'm going to war. Great. And he goes, I don't know what to tell you, Kat. I really felt strongly you needed to call her. He goes, maybe you need to go say a prayer and go read some scriptures and ask for some guidance on what to say in your email. So I'm like, you're right, fine. So I get off the phone with him and I'm scared to death of doing this because now I've been committed. I've now been told, ordered by my licensing worker, I have to do this. So I go in my room, I get my scriptures, I go in my room, I get on my knees, say a prayer. I say, Lord, okay, I will do this. I'm not going to question you. I really don't want to do this. I'm scared to death right now. I need you to clearly tell me what to say in this letter, and I need you to help me put this information and what to do. So then I open up the scriptures, and I don't care where they open up to. My quad is just, I don't care if it opened up to the Bible. I don't care if it opened up to the Book of Mormon. I don't care. It opened up to DNC 99, which is a gentleman who's going on a mission. And I'm going to kind of preface this with what is said in that chapter, which is only like 13 verses or something. It's not very big. That section, Doctrine and Covenants, section 99. I read everything, but the way that you're like reading in comprehension, you're reading what's on the page, but what you're comprehending and what the Spirit is saying to you are two different things. And so as I read that, the Spirit was actually telling me what part stood out to me in that. And then if I go back and read that, I went back and read the whole section again, like the next day after all this miraculous stuff happened. And like it didn't make sense at the time. And it had nothing to do with what I was being told out of those scriptures, with what was really going on in the scriptures. So I'll explain that. You know what? Let me get it real quick. It's right here. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. All right. So if you go to section 99, this is John Murdoch. He's going on a mission, and he's going to leave his family behind. Okay. So if you go to verse 2, it says, and whoso received, so he's being asked to go on a mission, and so he's being told to go out and go on a mission, and he's going to leave his family. So Joseph Smith is receiving revelation for John Murdoch. So maybe this is a blessing, I'm not sure. And he says, and who receiveth you, receiveth me, and you shall have power to declare my word in the demonstration of my Holy Spirit. Okay. So as I'm reading, that's the Spirit saying, I am giving you the power to declare what I need you to say. I need you to speak for my child right now, okay? So you are speaking on behalf of this boy. And that's what I'm hearing, even though this is what the scripture is saying. So then I kept reading, blah, blah, blah. And then it says in verse 4, it says, and whoso rejecteth you shall be rejected of my Father and his house, and you shall cleanse your feet in the secret places by the way for a testimony against them. That's just letting you know there are some people that are against you. I'm in a position, someone is against me right now, okay? Other foster mom, that's who it is. And the Spirit's saying this to me as I'm reading this. And behold, lo, I come quickly to judgment, to convince all of their ungodly deeds which they have committed against me, as it is written of me in the volume of the book. This was so loud in my head and clear. It was very much like, there are things going on here that you need to shed light on, because I don't approve of this and what is being done to my children. Okay? So then I continue on, and it's going on, and it just says in here, I say unto you that it is not expedient that you should go until your children are provided for and sent up kindly unto the bishop. I didn't hear any of that. All I heard was children. I heard in my head, I need you to watch over my children. You need to speak for me. You will write that email. You will say what needs to be said. I don't care how hard this is for you. This is your charge. Now go. And I know this sounds a little dramatic now that I think about it, but like this was powerful when I was reading this. So that was what I opened to. I just like pull up this thing open and it just opened right to that. And I just started reading with the hopes that I'd find something that I needed to, but I was not expecting that. And it was overwhelming. I'm like, oh, there is my confirmation from the Lord that I'm supposed to do this. So then I proceeded to write this email. And I wrote many after that. There were a few that we had to write. We had quite a bit of neglect that showed up after that. Quite a bit. It was very sad. Anyways, I wrote the email. We went to do the meeting the next day. So I was very nervous because I'm going to face my fears. I'm going to face this person. It didn't even get brought up because someone that needed to be there, we couldn't even have the meeting without them there. Didn't even show up. This is somebody else on the team. This isn't the foster mom. So somebody else needed to be there who made the decision whether he goes to me or not. Just didn't even show up to the meeting that they organized. So I was furious. But I was also relieved because if I still have to deal with this lady, then at least I skipped that little bit of a hurdle with having to deal with the repercussions of upsetting this foster mom. And so they had my information. They looked into it. They did whatever they did on their end, but I did my part. And I left it at that. And then things started to go downhill from there. And it was very difficult because I'm seeing more and more every time he comes to me. I'm seeing his state. I'm seeing his condition. I'm seeing a lot of lack of care and hygiene and a lot of problems that are, we're going to start addressing. And now I'm becoming familiar with the medical needs, and I'm starting to realize like the medical needs and the hygiene level or the inability to do certain things have nothing to do with the two. Like these things should be fully capable of taking care of. They have nothing to do with the medical stuff or the mental stuff. This is stuff that is just being neglected as I'm learning all of this stuff. And so, should I share this or not? We went to another doctor's visit, and this one just takes the cake. I have a child. This child has to do medications 3 times a day. He has to have 4 snacks a day, 4 Boost Kid Essentials, which is like a protein drink for kids that are malnourished and need the extra protein. With someone with a colostomy bag, there's issues with your body absorbing all the nutrients it needs because his intestinal tract is shorter than the rest of ours. Okay, so this kid needs a lot of nutrients. So then we had another doctor's visit after that one a few weeks later, and we're waiting for the next appointment to be made and things like that, and that one wasn't done as well either. And so had a lot more concerns with that one too, and had to address all of that too with the caseworker. Big concerns, even more. I'll leave all the details out, but there was a lot wrong with that visit too. And and so I'm getting more and more frustrated because I'm getting more and more concerned for this kid, and now I'm concerned for his well-being, and I'm just wrestling with the Lord at this point. I'm like, why isn't he here yet? I'm just so tired of this. He is not getting the care he needs at this point. He needs to be in our home. Why can't we get this? Why is this not moving any faster? Like, at the rate this is going, and everyone is dragging their feet on the team because nobody wants to move him. A couple things come into play. They wanted to keep him at the current school he's in, which is in a different town. Like, that requires transportation. I cannot take him. And so there's all these extra things that are stalling this process of him coming into staying into our home. So I think I just kind of had a bit of a mental breakdown and just kind of was like, Lord, this is so hard. This is so hard. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I kind of like had a rough night, and my husband's like, can I give you a blessing? I feel like you need a blessing. And this is one of the many that I've gotten at this point since we've started this process. And this is really important. I went to the Lord broken, discouraged, hopeless, like, don't know how I'm going to do this and continue doing this. And we haven't even gotten him yet, right? And I'm frustrated because I can't make this process go any faster no matter what I do or try to do. Not that I'm doing it for that, but no matter what I do or try to do, it's not speeding up the process. It's going slower. Even with the knowledge these people have of what's going on, they're still not bringing him into my home, which mind boggles me to this day. That's how broken the system is, by the way. That's a joke. That is a joke to me, that people will not make decisions because nobody wants to be the one responsible for upsetting this person's environment, when we all know this is the end goal anyways, and he's going to be a little uncomfortable when he moves into a new home, goes to a new school. Anybody that moves, that's part of it. You just rip it off like a Band-Aid and get it done. That's my opinion about it. So in this blessing, I was chastised. I was told, you are not going to do anything to get this moving any faster. You need to stop trying. And I was told that it was all in the Lord's hands. And I'm like, yes, I know. I've heard this all before. Like, that's where my mind is going. And the Spirit was like, you need to understand that you will not get him any sooner than you are supposed to. And I was like, wait, I'm not supposed to get him yet? I mean, okay. It was made very clear to me in that blessing that I would not get him a day sooner than I was supposed to. That when the time the Lord wanted him to come into my home, that was when he was supposed to be with me. And I was like, oh, okay. So then, when you're given a slight perspective of the Lord, it opens, that paradigm shift happens, and you're like, oh, and all of a sudden those, like, what do you call that? Your tunnel vision is now opened up, and you can just see, like, there's no tunnel in your way. And you're kind of like, oh, wait a minute. So that shift happened, and I'm like, oh, so it's not just I need to get him right now. There's more going on here, and it's not time for him to be with me yet, for whatever reason. And then it always goes back to, I didn't get a clear answer that night, but my mind always goes to, who's praying to maybe keep him a little longer? Is he praying to stay a little longer? Because it's hard to leave the only thing you've ever known, the only real family you've ever known. Are there more things going on that I don't know about that need to happen? Yes, there are more things that need to happen, that need to come to a point that needs to get this to where it needs to be for this to be right. Things need to happen that the Lord is aware of, because it's not just about me getting that boy. It's also about whatever the Lord needs done in that family and whatever's going on over there that shouldn't be going on. And I'll leave it at that. I know a lot more now. I know about, I have to be careful. I know a lot, and I know too much. And so I'll just say that. There's many good reasons that needed to happen. And so what happened is I got that blessing, and so I took a step back. The Spirit gave me the perspective I needed, and he said, I was chastised, and I was also blessed, like, it'll happen when it's supposed to. Just know that. And so now I can take the pressure off myself. I can take the pressure off everything else, because now I know there's nothing I can do to make this go faster. So the blessing was amazing in that fact, because it took this huge pressure off myself of, like, fighting the process and fighting, like, you just feel like you're kicking against the bricks. You really do. And so, the other best part of that blessing was, now go forth, my daughter, and watch my miracles unfold this next week. Okay? So that was, I'm using my phone for this video. I can't look at the dates. So about 3 weeks ago is about when this all happened. So 3 weeks ago, I got this blessing, like, on a Sunday. No, forgive me, it would have been the week prior. So got the blessing, and then we had him that weekend, and the Spirit had said, go forth and watch my miracles this week, right? I'm like, whoa, okay. And it was made very clear that the Lord was not happy with what was going on in this home, and that things were not being done on behalf of his children, and now he was going to go ahead and do what he needed to take care of his children. So then the following week, we're supposed to have him that weekend. Again, nothing new, same old routine at this point, just have him for the weekend. And then I go, the day I'm supposed to get him, which is Friday, I get a call saying that some stuff has happened from the foster mom, and that I might be having to have him for longer. Not good stuff is happening. And so I'll leave it at that. Excuse me for just a minute. And so I'm like, okay. So then I get a call from the caseworker. Yeah, some really bad stuff has happened. We're going to need him to stay with you. Not Friday through Sunday. We need him to stay with you on Monday as well. And I'm like, oh, and it was weird because I got this overwhelming, like optimistic, peaceful feeling come over me. And I'm like, Kat, what is this? Don't. I'm like, I'm having an internal, don't get your hopes up. This could just be a temporary thing. This could not be final. Maybe you're getting him, maybe you're, but Kat, don't jinx it, and don't get your head in that headspace that you're getting him yet, because you're not. I don't want to get my hopes up. So I'm like, okay. And then there was a bit of a change because we had already planned to be gone Sunday night through Tuesday because kids don't have school. We're going to go to the property. And so we needed to cut down a bunch of trees and open up our property. So now we had to figure out if we could have until Tuesday because we needed to be gone those 2 days. Plus he was going to have to miss school because if he's got to stay with us Monday, we're out of town. So they agreed for him to stay with us Monday, Tuesday. And then, so I know what's going on. I've been told by the foster mom what's going on. She's already told me not what's happened, but that something happened and that he's probably not gonna be able to come back and stay with her. So she packed him up and gave me like a week's worth of his medications and stuff like that. She goes, just in case. I'm not saying anything, but just in case he may not come back to me. And I'm like, whoa, what? And I know the thing that happened, but I don't know what the details. I don't know. I know what it's called a hotline. I know what a hotline is. When you're hotlined, it's like when you're reported for stuff, right? Like someone called you and reported you for something. And clearly if the children are in danger, then they're not welcome to go back into that home because something's going on. So I've been told about this by her. I've been told now by the caseworker, you need to keep him a little longer until we make sure everything's safe for him. So we take him for the weekend. We go down to the property. And I believe it was Monday or Tuesday. I get the phone call. Yeah, we're just going to keep him with you from here on out. He's not going back there. It is not okay, and we're keeping him with you. So I'm very happy. Catherine, can you please, then comes the whole, okay, so I'm going to come over tomorrow. So now I had to leave early on Tuesday morning as opposed to like Tuesday afternoon and get back so that I could meet up with her because now I've got to get placement papers. Now he's being placed with us. So bittersweet. It was a beautiful, like peaceful experience. Like I felt like the Lord's like, see my miracle I just performed for you. Stuff needed to happen in order for this to happen. And so the stuff happened, and now I'm getting him. And it caused a daisy chain of events that were not in anyone's favor, for especially the foster mom. And I feel so bad for her because this ruined her life. So my heart goes out to her. I've been praying for her. Not all this has to do with her. Other people were involved, so it's really sad. But it's really sad. And those other kids and stuff like that. So anyway, because obviously he's not the only one that lives there. So anyways, I don't judge anybody at this point. I know that I've been like clearly making a point that things are not right, but also there's so much more going on. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just scratching the surface with some things. There's so much more going on with anybody than just like one little thing. So I just think things kind of come to a point and then they explode or decompress, whatever it is. I digress. So we got him, and so then we had to break the news to him. So we decided to wait till Tuesday morning to tell him as opposed to the night before because we were in a trailer. He has a colostomy bag. I don't want a big accident in the trailer. That's very difficult to clean up. I can't wash anything very well there. Like I can, but it's not like having a washer and dryer at home, right? I just would have to like take care of it. I didn't want anything happening that would cause him extra stress and anything to happen because of the stress. So we waited till the morning to tell him. And so we told him that he wouldn't be going back and that he was now being placed with us, but that he would continue to go to the school. And long story short, that whole week he went to school at his old school in his old town, and then they couldn't get transportation worked out for him to continue to go there to the end of the semester. So this last week, we just got him enrolled here in the school district in the town I'm in. And so he's now going to school here. He's had a couple of days of school there. So he's been with us for over a week now. And as you know, like there's a lot of emotions. There's stress, there's a new school, there's a new family, there's I want to be back with the old family. I miss them. That's still mom to him. That's still his brother and his family. And, you know, we're going to have to implement a lot of this. Like, there's no going back there. Even if he wanted to, they won't let him. Even if anybody wanted that to change, they won't let him go back there. So that's not even an option pretty much ever at this point, is my understanding. And so that's something we're going to have to try to explain to him over time. This is a lot of the same stuff I'm now dealing with that I dealt with my first foster kids, with Jewel and Braden. There's this dynamic of, you get these foster kids, you give them this home, you give them this family, you give them a mother and a father and good, healthy siblings with a healthy relationship. And there's a lot of pushback. These kids don't want to be there. They want to go back to their family. They want to go back to their moms. They don't want to be with you. So they aren't looking, they're looking a gift horse in the mouth. And they are freaking not happy to have the gift horse, even though, you know, retrospect, they look back and they go, wow, my life is so much better now, you know, and I'm not being neglected, I'm not being abused, I'm not, whatever those things are with the foster kids, the reason that they came to you. So it's a very difficult place to be. So we're in that difficult transition where there's lots of happy moments and lots of, like, you know, hills and valleys. Really happy, thriving, happy to be here, loving the life here, loving everything, the food, the family, the new school, getting on the bus, the bed, the cool nightlight, just all these things that we've done to accommodate and make him feel comfortable. And then there's the lows. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I don't want to do this. And then the emotions and the behaviors are coming out. Then you see all this. So there's more to this. Excuse me. The other part has been, I have been insanely busy with his care. The bags busting, cleaning up the bed every day. That's kind of tapered off for the last 5 days. I don't want to jinx that either. It's been really good for 5 days. The first 5 days straight were not. It was busting the bag every day, a filter being leaking, all these things. Which was almost expected because of, you know, the situation. The stress of moving. And anyways, the other part of that was I had to go to all the doctors. And I had to go learn a few things. And basically all of my day, every day for the last few weeks has just been on the phone with doctors, going to doctor's appointments, going to doctor's visits. Everybody wanted to see him. And then what I've learned is every single doctor and department has their own team. So every doctor that I went to didn't just have the main doctor. They had their own social worker that wanted to come see me. They had their own therapist that wanted to come see me, their own nutritionist, even though he already has all those things separately. So I kid you not, I saw 20 people this week, just doctors alone. I have a notepad of just notes and information. And my brain, I kid you not, God is just like, I kid you not, my brain is very forgetful. It's a bit hazy, it's a bit flaky, it's a little bit like, I don't focus very well sometimes. And I kid you not, it's felt like I have grown another muscle in my brain, or another part of my brain, and I feel like I am flexing this muscle, like I have been working it out for years, and I am now using that overly flexed, really in shape muscle, because I hyper-focused, and I was able to, got it, get this, get that, go do that, do this, go get this notarized, go get this, all these doctor's pills, make sure you got everything. I'm not kidding you. Like, I have 19 medications to organize 3 times a day over a week period. Like, it's a lot, okay? I have to go 3 different places for medical supply. 2 different places for medical supplies I have to go and order stuff from that he needs. And it has to all be done in a certain amount of time, 5 days before the end of the billing period. Like, it is intense. This is intense. All the doctors are all doing different parts of his behaviors and his medications and everything like that. And I have to just cohesively have everything together. And oh my gosh, there's just a whole team. They've been amazing. They've been amazed also. I'd like to pat myself a little bit on the back there. They've been like, we can't believe you even knew to call us and get all this stuff set up, that you know all this already. And I'm like, I'm doing my homework, man. I've had some time to prepare too, though. I've gotten to know this boy and everything about him. I've gone to doctor's visits. So, you know, we've been trying to go to the temple here and there. We had to kind of hold off while he was first with us because we didn't have him in school yet, and then we wanted to make sure that he was in school before we started going to the doctor, to the hospital. Anyway, I've gone to the temple twice this week. I've needed it both times. The transition is plateauing, if you will. There's a bit of behaviors, but I just wanted to, I guess, share what I felt impressed to share. The main part of this was that blessing, was watch my miracles unfold, and then I watched the miracle, and I kind of didn't play that up as well, but the miracle did unfold, and we got him that week, and it was only because of that we got him. I think they were ready to drag it out even longer, which is very disappointing to me, especially knowing what they know based on what I reported. It was so infuriating to me that they were okay with all of these forms of neglect and problems, active problems. And they, like, if any of those things would have been the case for any of my foster kids' parents, bio parents, they would have taken them out of their home immediately for the same thing. So there was a huge double standard, in my opinion, when it came to this foster family. I just was blown away, and I'm leaving the details out of respect and discrepancy and all that stuff, and who knows. Anyway, so it is great news we have him. It has been the hardest few weeks of my life. There's been a lot of pushback. There's been a lot of behaviors. There's been a lot of fawning. There's been a lot of frustration. There's been a lot of emotions on his end, because everything he's ever known is just kind of gone the way he doesn't want to, and he has no control over it. And honestly, neither do I. Like, this was all decided for him, right? So we're going to work on that with him and everything like that, and hopefully things will kind of calm down for a little while. But our family feels at a lot of peace right now. It feels like there has been this huge calming energy in the home of your family is complete for the time. And I don't know when I'm going to get those other 2 kids. I don't feel like it's urgent or right now. So we're going to just get through this process right now with him. And I don't know how that's going to happen in the future. It could be a year from now. I don't know. But right now, it just feels like we are where we need to be. The Lord is blessing us. We have been blessed. We have watched the miracle unfold. I want to testify of that. Again, these things happen in the most mysterious ways, unconventional things. And we can do hard things with the Lord. And I don't understand everything. I just know I'm told to do something, and I'm told to stand up for truth and righteousness. And that's what we're doing. You know, when I wrote those emails, that's what I was doing. Is I'm standing up for what's true and what's right. And that is the Lord's work. And I remember I had a friend in my ward. She texted me that night after I'd sent the email. And she's like, I don't know why, but I just felt like I needed to text you and see if you were doing okay. And I'm like, oh, just keep me in your prayers. I had to do a really big, scary thing. And I told her kind of just like, I had to write this email and and I kind of gave her like the gist of it. She said the coolest thing to me back. And she goes, you foster moms can be a little scary sometimes. And I was like, you think I'm scary? And she's like, yeah, you guys can be a little intimidating sometimes. And she's like, but I'd be scared of you if I was that other lady. And I go, really? Why? And she goes, because you've got the Lord on your side. You've got the Lord backing you. And that was so powerful, because I'm like, oh, like I sat up straighter. I'm like, oh yeah, I do. He just charged me with this. That means that I am doing his work. Like, he told me to go forth and do that, as scary as it was. And I'm a coward. Like, I don't want confrontation. I don't want to fight with anybody. I don't want to stir. I mean, I'm all, whatever I can avoid and still get what I want, let's do that. That's easy. Like, I was a total coward at first. So that really eased my conscience that night, so I could sleep that night, because I was so worked up, you know, about that meeting the next day after sending that email. I was so, like, anyway, I was able to get some sleep that night, because I was like, yeah, the Lord's got your back. He told you to do this. He's not going to leave you high and dry. So with that said, I also want to kind of throw something in here too. There is a very, very huge need for foster parents. And you are extremely blessed. You are not only blessed with growth spiritually and mentally, and growing leaps and bounds with your selflessness and learning the way Christ wants to learn, you know, you think about it, you're taking broken children into your home. You're helping the poor and the needy next level. You know, a lot of us are detached from that. There's that one song, we all want our preachers on Sundays, and we all want our service missions, you know, overseas. It's that country song. It's in my head right now. It's my son's favorite song. You know, we want our blessings in our pocket, whatever that, you know, it's next level when you really, really go to town and do the Lord's work. Next level. This is next level to us, in my opinion. When they say to help the poor and needy and to share the gospel, that is what I'm doing. I am doing the Lord's work with these children in my home. And you're not only blessed, you're given financial help with that. They give you subsidy. Let's just get that out of the way right now. I know we all think about the money aspect of things. You are paid, okay? But not only that, but you're giving these kids structure. You're giving them the spirit. You're giving them a mother and a father. Even if you're just a mother or a father, you're giving them something. And you don't realize what you have to offer these kids, okay? I had no idea when I started this how much I needed. Just the fact that I have been adopted is something that I can relate to these kids. If you've got a past, if you've got a rough past in your life, they can relate to that. They can't relate to Molly Mormon on Sunday that just never did anything wrong in her life. Nope, they don't relate to that. Matter of fact, that repulses them. They need someone real. They need someone that's had a tough life and that has overcame. That's what they need, because they need hope, right? You can't connect to somebody that you can't connect to, and if you're not relatable in some ways, I mean, you'd be surprised what you have to offer. The more that I do this, the more that I realize how much my spiritual gifts that God has given me have been magnified. I've learned more about spiritual gifts. I've been given more since doing this. My shortcomings have become my strengths throughout this process. We've been fostering since December of 2019. So we've been fostering almost 5 years now, right? So I can't say that enough. There is such a need, and it is the Lord's work. I don't think you understand. I think it was election day when we were all voting for Trump or Kamala Harris. I had 6 phone calls for foster placement children. That happens maybe once or twice on a bad week, not 6 times in one day, okay? Our society is falling apart. And what happens when a society crumbles? Children get left in the dust and abandoned, okay? This is something that needs to be considered. If you're thinking about it, take it to the Lord. Be brave, because you will be blessed and you will be given immense measures of help. You know, I was a 2-kid mom. I was happy with 2 kids. I couldn't have any more children. I was done. I didn't want more kids. My 2 kids were extreme. They were a lot of work, a lot of energy, and they're smart kids, so they were challenged. We challenged one another, you could say. I was happy with 2. And every single kid I have gotten I have been met with what I needed. The Lord has given me what I needed mentally, emotionally, spiritually to be able to take care of these children. And He's also given me gifts of the Spirit. I have been given the gift of nurturing. I've been given the gift of patience. Not all the time I've had to learn that. You kind of get forced to learn it in a lot of ways. I have been given ultimate gifts of intuition and discernment for these children. You're given the mantle to take care of these children. So it's absolutely, my life has completely changed with this process. And it's for all of us involved. My children have become more compassionate. They aren't spoiled little brats anymore like we all were when we first started this. Oh man, were we a selfish family when we first started this. And now we have compassion for everybody. Like, there's no more judgment. There's no more, I've got some of my family members, they're kind of known for being stuck up and kind of snooty and, oh, you're beneath me. And it's always off-put me. I've never liked that personality. I always wanted to be somebody that you could feel like you could approach and I felt like a safe place, and I felt like you could feel accepted and loved. I don't want anybody to ever feel judged or like I'm snooty or something. And so I've always tried to work on that and always be that kind person that was approachable. I don't want to ever be someone that's standoffish or better than or anything like that. And you know, you see people's examples of the ones that are self-centered. You know, you've got a lot of people here that are influencers in our society and just all about themselves, and they have become a shell of a person, very shallow. Their hearts have waxed cold, as you hear in scripture. They're all about themselves, and the more that you do for others, the more that you are blessed, and the more that your problems and your burdens become light and they become manageable, and the more you realize you're able to do, and also your relationship with the Lord grows. And it becomes this beautiful, entwined relationship where you are entwined with the Lord and you are one, because when you're down there in the muck and you're helping these kids that are broken, I mean broken ribs, I mean neglected with food or left alone for days or whatever it is, these children are broken. You know, you ever heard of the failure to thrive? It's a real thing. Their bodies shut down and they don't even want to eat. They just have failure to thrive. I've had a few of those myself. Help them, nurture them back to life, literally. Okay, when you're in the mire and you're in there helping them and you're helping, mourning with those that mourn and comforting those that stand in need of comfort, you feel Christ's love stronger, just like missionaries do when they're going and sharing the gospel with investigators. You feel an immense love. You missionaries know what I'm talking about. And I'd love to hear your comments on this. You feel an immense love for that person. You feel the Lord's love for that person. You can feel it, and it is powerful. And if anything else, it changes you because the Lord is with you when you are helping one of Him. And I have had that experience many times with these children when I'm in a really hard situation, and all of a sudden I feel this Christ-like love just overcome my body, and I'm like, wow, that's the Spirit telling me right now. And the Spirit says, this, you are helping me. When you help one of these children, you're helping me, meaning the Lord. So I have a testimony of that. And I stand as a witness to you today that there is a huge need for more of that. We need to help more and make those sacrifices, because really it ends up not being a sacrifice. It ends up being a blessing for you and for them and for your whole family. It'll come full circle. So I can't say enough about that. But I'll leave this with you. I just wanted to share my testimony of miracles being performed, and I stand as a witness to another miracle in my life. And I'm so grateful for these testimony building experiences. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope your holidays are wonderful, and we'll see you next time. Take care.